Do you struggle to talk to women? You try to flirt, but it feels awkward or boring, and you can feel them lose interest? Well, let's fix that. I'm going to give you 5 secrets to flirty banter that make it easy and fun to talk to women, both in real life and on the apps. I'm dating coach and bestselling author Connell Barrett, and I help introverted guys get great at flirting without using weird, scripted pickup tactics. And make sure you stick around for banter secret number 5 at the end of the video, because once you learn it, you're never going to run out of things to say again. Guys who are good at banter get dates. Guys who are bad at banter get ghosted. Let's get you some dates. Let's dive in. Secret number 1, tease her the right way, not the wrong way. Teasing women can work wonders, but if you do it the wrong way, you're just going to offend women. So never ever tease her about anything that could cut deep in a personal way, like her looks, her weight, or how much she drinks. My client Nick had a date, and his date had a 3rd drink on the date, and he jokingly called her an alcoholic. Not funny. Aww. She ended the date right there and never spoke to him again because she took that personally. So the secret to teasing is to use topics that are light and surface level. So tease her about a nerdy hobby she has, or her taste in music or movies. I once said to a woman, "Wait, Legally Blonde is your favorite movie ever? I don't think I can date you anymore." And it worked really well. Now, if she does something klutzy on the date, you can tease her for that. I once took a date out for fancy sushi, and she kept dropping pieces of sushi on the floor. And I said, "Jen, if you keep dropping sushi, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent this month. This stuff is expensive. We're going to have to get you chopsticks lessons." And she loved it. So tease her about harmless, surface level things. If her first concert was Nickelback, roast her for that. Bottom line is, you want to think of all of these banter moves as pepper in the dish, not the whole meal, all right? These banter techniques should make up at most 20% of your conversations with women. The other 80%, well, that's you being sincere and real and authentic. Your goal here is not to perform, it's to show women your authentic self, because remember, women like you for you, not your game and not your banter. Okay, get ready to dial up the flirty tension and have women asking you out for second dates. We move on to banter secret number 2. Make her the seducer. Here's what not to do with women. Don't try to be seductive by getting too sexual too soon. That's how you creep women out, by making vulgar comments or talking about her body parts or talking about sex too soon. No bueno. Instead, make her the seducer. Here's how you do it. You take something she says, something totally innocent, and you playfully misinterpret it as her trying to seduce you. This is a role reversal, okay? And many women love this because for once, she gets to play the part of the pursuer. Men are the ones always making moves and trying to hook up with women, right? So when you flip it around and you playfully accuse her of trying to get you in the sack, it feels really surprising, cheeky, and really fun. Let's say she says, "You need to meet my cat Oliver. He's a lot of fun." You could grin and say, "Look, I know you're trying to get me into your apartment to get me alone, but I barely know you. Let's take things slow, okay?" So you're misinterpreting what she says as her trying to hook up with you. Or maybe she compliments your shirt. She looks down and says, "I like your shirt." You could misinterpret that and say, "Excuse me, my eyes are up here. Please don't treat me like a piece of meat, okay? I'm a human with a soul and a heart." Women love this because you're doing the opposite of what every other guy does. You're flipping the male-female dating dynamic and playfully accusing her of objectifying you. This sends a message to her that you're fun, you're funny, and you're not like other guys. And as a bonus, some women actually get so into this that they fully adopt the seducer role. I once dated a woman named Roxanne who loved this kind of vibe. On our second date, she leaned in and said, "Hey, why don't we go back to your place and I can show you more of my moves?" And, well, it would not have been gentlemanly of me to say no to Roxanne. So remember, don't be the guy who's trying hard to seduce a woman. Be the guy who is letting her seduce you. The next banter move is so easy, you're going to be able to apply it today without any practice. Here is banter secret number 3. Use the best banter topics. There are 5 of them. Here's a big mistake guys make. If you're like most men, you think you have to be incredibly witty, interesting, funny. You think your content has to be amazing. It doesn't. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian. You just need to stick to the 5 best banter topics, and these topics will assure that the conversation stays light, flirty, and fun. So just talk about these 5 topics on dates, and she will find you so very engaging. Topic number 1, her hobbies and your hobbies, your interests. People love talking about what they're into. So ask every woman on every first date, what do you love to do for fun? Or you might ask her, if you went on America's Got Talent, what would your skill be? Just make sure that whatever you learn about her that she's into, you share your hobbies and your interests about what you're into as well. Banter topic number 2, food and drink. On my first date with my girlfriend Jess, we bonded over Italian food. We also debated how she loves mushrooms and I hate them. Food and drink leads to great playful conversations and shared tastes. Banter topic number 3, pop culture. Think TV shows, movies, music. I once had an amazing date with a woman, and we talked for about 2 straight hours about our favorite Beatles songs and albums, and we debated who the best Beatle was. It's John, by the way. Banter topic number 4, funny stories from your youth and from her youth. So tell her true stories from your childhood and ask her about hers. Say something like, what were you like as a kid? What are your favorite memories? So here's a story I've shared many times on many dates. When I was in 4th grade, I dressed up as a clown for Halloween, and I showed up to school that way. But I was a day early, and I was the only kid dressed up. So there I was, sitting in math class, a clown, standing out from everybody else. It was very traumatic. Maybe that's why Pennywise is so damaged. Maybe the same thing happened to him. And topic number 5, fun what-if questions. Ask playful hypotheticals that get the both of you talking. Ask her things like, what actress would you want to play you in the movie of your life? Or, if you could have dinner with anybody who ever lived, who would that be? These kinds of questions spark stories, laughter, and keep things light and bantery. Okay, now here are 3 topics to avoid, like the plague. Politics and heavy social issues, complaining about work, and of course, exes, bad breakups, or talking too much about dating. Avoid those 3 topics. They're anti-banter topics. Okay, and the next banter move is something that you already do, but you probably don't do it with women. Banter secret number 4, spark chemistry with sarcasm and irony. Not using sarcasm is a mistake if that is part of your authentic personality. If you tease and joke with your good friends and buddies, do it with women. You're playing it too safe if you're not being a little bit snarky and sarcastic, okay? Most guys are too afraid to be snarky and sarcastic. They're afraid they're going to offend the woman, but actually this is how you show your authentic self. So many women love a guy who can sprinkle in a bit of irony, a little bit of sarcasm. It shows confidence and edge. And edge is so important for nice introverted guys like you and me to create that spark with women. Irony is when you say the opposite of what's clearly true, and you say it in a very deadpan but playful way. Sarcasm is basically the same, except there's edge and attitude in your tone of voice. So irony is dry, sarcasm has some bite. For example, here's irony. Let's say on a date, she shows up looking incredible, and she says she wasn't sure about the outfit she chose. You might dryly say, oh yeah, you definitely don't look stunning. You are not drop dead gorgeous at all. It's a way that you can flirt with her and tell her she's gorgeous without being direct. Now you can use sarcasm, and you can even use it by text. Let's say she messages you, I'm a big fan of lazy Sundays. You could reply, oh yeah, who wants to lounge around all day, eating snacks and watching Netflix? That's the worst. All capitalized worst. The key with sarcasm and irony is make it obvious that you're joking. By the way, a little irony and sarcasm go a long way. They make your banter natural, clever, and very flirty. Just remember, less is more, okay? And here's an advanced move that will absolutely leave her aching for a second date with you. And you're never gonna run out of things to say again. I call this banter secret number 5, the playful pivot. The playful pivot is when you bounce from fun topic to fun topic in a very natural way. Women love this because the conversation feels very spontaneous and unpredictable. It's like taking her on a bumper car ride verbally. She wonders where you're going to go next. Women love it. So on my first date with Emily, who later became my girlfriend, we bounced around from topic to topic. And our date ended in the most romantic way. We kissed in a rainstorm under an awning. It's raining. And I remember we kissed and she said, "I have the most amazing floaty feeling right now." And I think what she was describing was the light, emotionally connected and excited vibes that the Playful Pivot gives women. Here's how to do it. During the date, you grab a word or a phrase that one of you says and you use it to pivot to a new fun topic. Here, let me do a demo for you, just to give you an idea. So imagine you and her are deep into a first date. Just know that this little demo, I'm speeding things up just for teaching purposes. You can do it much slower than I'm about to do. So she says, "I just got back from Italy." You might say, "Oh, nice. What was the best thing that you ate?" She says, "Oh, the pasta in Rome was incredible." You would say, "Oh, you must be a pasta snob now. Do you judge people who go to Olive Garden?" She laughs and says, "I mean, kinda." Then you say, "Speaking of judging, what's a pet peeve you have about going out to eat?" So here's the magic move of the Playful Pivot. You're grabbing the word judge or judging that you had just said, and you're using that word to pivot to a new topic. In this case, pet peeves while eating. So she might say, "People who chew too loudly." Then you would say, "Oh, well, I'm the same way. So I guess dinner with a cow would be your personal hell." And then she might say, "Oh, cows are so cute though. I would actually enjoy that." Then you would say, "Speaking of cows," there's the magic phrase, "Speaking of blank." Speaking of cows, I just watched Twister. Remember that flying cow scene? I love that movie. What's your favorite movie ever? So you've just used the Playful Pivot to go from pet peeves while eating to cows to her favorite movie. So she might say, "The Notebook." You would say, "The Notebook? Oh my gosh, that is such a chick flick. Why do I always pick the cutest girls with the worst taste in movies?" And she might say, "Hey, I like what I like." And you would say, "I'll get over it. It's not like you're very charming in many other ways." Speaking of movies, who do you think should play you in the movie of your life? And then she would answer from there. Now, not only did I change topics 4 or 5 times, at the very end, did you notice how we had you teasing her for her taste in movies while also calling her cute? Because when you master the Playful Pivot, you can also combine these different banter techniques, teasing, sarcasm, fun what ifs, and weave them together really naturally in a way that is so magnetic and charismatic to women and gives them those floaty feelings that make them want to keep seeing you. And as a huge bonus, once you can pivot to a new topic, you're never going to run out of things to say again. Because think about it, the reason you run out of things to say is you don't know what else to say about a topic, but you can never run out of topics, which means you'll never again run out of things to say. All right, I hope these 5 flirty banter techniques will help you. I know they will. By the way, if you want to become an absolute master at flirting with women, at having magnetic conversations, at being incredible of making sparks happen on dates when you approach or when you're texting, go to my website, datingtransformation.com. You can book a free call with me to find out how my dating coaching works so that I can potentially personally help you become even better at flirting and get you the incredible girlfriend you deserve. So if you want to know how my coaching works, go to datingtransformation.com, click the book a call button, and you and I can talk soon.